All right, Brandon, let me start with the obvious. We are a Saginaw Spirit franchise broadcasting radio station. And when you played for the Spirit, we cheered you wildly. We are a Detroit Red Wings radio broadcasting station. Don't take this personally, but we weren't cheering for you last night, but we say congratulations to you anyway. Have you wrapped your head around this yet, Brandon? The fact that you're playing for a storied franchise, you guys beat a storied franchise, and you're one series away from playing for a Stanley Cup in your rookie season?
Yeah, it's been kind of a whirlwind of emotions and a great year. So it's a pretty awesome matchup to play against Detroit, especially with their last year being in the Western Conference here. And fortunate for me and for the Hawks that we beat them in 7.
And Brandon, Goose here, I just want to say on behalf of the Saginaw Spirit franchise, the fans, the season ticket holders, our entire community, just how proud we are of you. And we see number 20 going across the ice, the things that you've done, not just on the ice, but off the ice. The things that you do off the ice are extraordinary as well, and not just for your team, but for your community. And we're just so proud of you, and we want to let you know that. And we wish you the best. And you know, it was, as Charlie mentioned, it was we're all Red Wing fans here too, but you've turned a number of us into Blackhawk fans, and certainly we're very proud of you.
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot. I know how it works with the fans and parents back home. Everyone loves Pittsburgh too. It's the same thing. I appreciate what everyone's given me, and I had a great time there, and it's nice to move on here to Chicago and just have the support.
Brandon, let's go back to the series against the Red Wings. You found yourself in a 3-1 deficit. How much did you guys rely upon, I guess, the nucleus of a Stanley Cup winner in Chicago a couple of years ago to sort of draw upon their experience in tight situations? Because obviously you've got some guys that have been there before, and it was a great comeback against a team that was pretty hungry.
Yeah, definitely. Comebacks like that are always tough, and it's huge. You realize, especially being a young guy coming in, it's nice to have young talent, but you need those veterans, guys saying the right things and leading by example on and off the ice to show us young guys what to do. A lot of the age doesn't matter for that, but just saying how the veterans are huge, helping out us young guys. Everyone can play hockey at this level regardless of the age, but to be able to have veterans that have been through it and experienced it and help you teach you along the way, it helps out tremendously.
Brandon, I know that your teammates have nicknamed you Manchild. How explain to us that nickname and just how did that come about?
That's something Sharpie and Kaner came up with. Just, I guess, me being a young guy and being looking like a man, I guess. Being at the age I am, I guess that's something they came up with and have fun with, and it's been a lot of fun. I
think playing like a man, too. And another question I have is last night in that game, 7 last night, when you were given the coincidental minor there, I mean, what was going through your mind when that happened? That had to be some elation there because you had to hear the crowd and also some confusion as to what was going on. What was going through your mind at that time?
Yeah, definitely I was a little surprised. I didn't really hear the whistle. There was a battle along the boards, and the ref made the decision to make the call, but I think when Hjalmarsson got the puck, while watching on tape, when Hjalmarsson got the puck in the middle there, it's the crowd erupted, and I couldn't really hear the whistle at all, to be honest, and my goal horn went off, so I wasn't quite sure what happened, but in the end, it was called back, and we're fortunate to get the win in overtime.
Brandon, one of the keys, obviously, for the hockey club so far in the postseason has been just an exceptional penalty kill. I think Jakob Kindl had a power play goal in Game 4, and that was about it for the Red Wings in terms of a man advantage goal. And, the power play started to get a little better as the series went on as well. Obviously, those two components are going to be huge against a very good LA team.
Yeah, special teams are always huge in playoffs. And you're always making adjustments and tweaking with things depending on the opponent you're playing. And that's something we did in Chicago. Our special teams our penalty kill especially has been tremendous, and being able to tweak some things and get a couple power play goals to help us get a couple wins there at the end, it helped out a lot.
Brandon, is there anything that, when you guys were down in the series 3-1, it appeared, I was sitting right behind the bench there of that game, and it looked like there was either frustration or something that set in with the team, and then it looked like there was a level of confidence that was gained shortly after that. Is there any one thing that happened, or was it just that you all just decided to grind it out and find a way to win? Or was there any one thing that stood out to you that made a change?
I think that game in particular was kind of a wake-up call.
Yeah.
Our team's been playing well throughout the playoffs, but that team in particular. You get the competitive nature of guys, and everyone was going on all cylinders. Everyone was frustrated just from losing, really, being down 3-1. But we know we're a capable group, so at the same time, it woke us up, and we're a confident group. And at that time, we had nothing else to lose. The series is the best of 7, and it wasn't over yet. So we just had to lay our season on the line every night, and we ended up stringing together a couple wins there.
Hey, Brandon, let me ask you, you're making your transition, obviously, from the Ontario Hockey League into the National Hockey League. If I asked you, is there one thing you point to about the biggest difference, the biggest adjustment that you might have had to make between the OHL to the NHL?
There's a lot of skill in the OHL, and that's a great league too, but I think just playing at this level with the amount of skill that's at this level, it's ramped up, and you're playing with men now. The OHL, you can get some young guys that it's a little bit different, but to be in the NHL, it's how good the guys are and how hard they work, and their work ethic to stay up here, and the consistency and the compete level. That's definitely the biggest difference.
But what about the speed of the game too?
Yeah, it's faster. It's just along the lines of everything I just said. When you're bigger and stronger, the game picks up tempo faster, and guys move the puck well, and it's hard. So that's definitely it.
Hey, Brandon, why don't you, for the people listening, in your own words, paint a visual picture of standing at the United Center, either at the blue line or on the bench when that national anthem is going, because it's like nothing else in sports. And I remember going back to the All-Star game, I think in '91 at the old Chicago Stadium, right in the wake of the first conflict with Iraq, and just the wonderful setting there. It's equally as fine now. It's just got to be a wonderful thing to experience.
Yeah, that's an unbelievable feeling. Being first coming into Chicago, and people tell you about it, and you always hear about how awesome the anthem is, but to be able to be on the ice and be in front of the fans and hear it for the first time, and the special thing about it is you hear it 100 times, and it's still unbelievable. It gives you the chills being on the ice and gets you ready, ramped up to play. So that's something to experience that. It's pretty awesome.
And the other thing, too, I think that it really, really is part of the fabric of the Chicago Blackhawks is the fact that in recent years there's been a reintroduction to Stan Mikita, a reintroduction to the fans of Tony Esposito, Bobby Hull, and whatnot, after a little bit of a time away for some of those players that are part of the framework of one of the great original 6 franchises. That's got to be a kick, too, to see, the guys that made the Blackhawks what they are right back in the fold and front and center, because they show them there all the time at the United Center.
Yeah, definitely. They show them, and for them to come back and be where they started and played well, it's exciting for the fans too. You always see them get ramped up during the game when those guys are put on the jumbotrons. It's nice to have the support and have those guys there.
Yeah, Brandon, talk a little bit about. This is the last time the Red Wings and the Blackhawks will be competing in the conference finals. Next time you play in the playoffs, it would have to be in the Stanley Cup finals because Detroit's moving to the East next year. I guess in your thoughts here regarding the Detroit Red Wings, what makes them so difficult to play against from your perspective?
Well, it's amazing what they've done really this year with the amount of talent they lost. They still have world-class players to lead the way, and a lot of young guys coming in and rookies that are stepping up to the challenge and playing well. So they're always a good team. They always seem to have good guys in the system and well with depth. And obviously with Babcock, with his coaching ability, he's a big help with where they're at. He's an unbelievable coach, as you see from his stat sheet there. So I think it was 22 straight years or whatever it was, they made the playoffs in a row. And it's pretty incredible that the franchise of how every year they seem in the mix, and they're a tough team to play against. As you see, they knocked off Anaheim and took us to Game 7. So they compete hard, and they have some world-class players.
Brandon, this is the first time that the Hawks and the Kings will meet in the playoffs since 1974. And the other thing that is really great about this series is the number of former Ontario Hockey League players that will be appearing in this series. Obviously, Patrick Kane and Dave Bolland and Brian Bickles had a great playoff. Andrew Shaw over on the other side, Jeff Carter. The list goes on. Mike Richards, Dustin Brown, Drew Doughty, among others. That's kind of a neat twist to this series as well for people that follow the Ontario League.
Yeah, definitely. You see how much success the Canadian Hockey League and the Ontario Hockey League have with with getting guys prepared to play in the NHL, and this is just a prime example of that. Both teams have a lot of guys on that, and it's exciting for the fans, especially.
And Brandon, talk to us a little bit about Andrew Shaw. I mean, what a competitor. His brother, of course, Jason, played for us this year, and his brother's got that same competitive nature. And we got to know his mom and dad real well, and I think his dad may be the most competitive man on the planet. But talk to us a little bit about Jason and the kind of person he is and what he meant to your team and to you personally.
He's a special guy. We actually roomed together on the road, and like you said, with us, it's a lot with how you're brought up. I'm sure his parents, the competitive nature, and all of his brothers the same way. It's just the attitude and the mindset you have going into things, and you always love a guy like that on your team. And to be able to be a young guy around them and playing some time in Rockford with them and playing against them in the Ontario Hockey League, and you really get to appreciate a guy like that when he's side by side with you. So it's been huge for us to have him on this year. He's had a great year, and last year the things he's done, he's just been there's no quitting him. So it's always nice to see a guy like that.
Yeah, your line last night too. With Shaw and who is it?
Stallberg.
Stallberg. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, but you guys were dominant out there last night. It seemed like the puck was always in Detroit's end when you guys were on the ice.
Yeah, definitely. That's something in the playoffs you need, and we had that switch up in the lines and adjustments. And the top two lines you're always going to expect doing their job and playing phenomenal, and they kind of almost cancel each other out. You see at times. And that's why in playoffs you see so much depth and help.
We should mention, too, as much as we're talking about the team play, we need to congratulate Brandon individually up for the Calder Trophy. You're named as one of the finalists. An impressive rookie year. I don't have the stats. Was it 10 goals?
10 goals, just under 30 points, plus 17 as well.
Yeah.
A lot of body checks, a lot of good two-way play, and it's a wonderful accomplishment looking to become the first Calder winner for the Hawks since Pat Kane a few years ago.
Yeah, definitely. That's being up for that was a huge honor, just to be mentioned with how many guys have had phenomenal rookies. It's just been a really good year for me, myself personally, and to be able to be on this team, it's helped me out a lot with improving and getting better every day. So I think that's had a lot to do with it.
And Brandon, tell us a little bit about your days in Saginaw here and what it meant to be part of the OHL franchise here, and also what Greg Gilbert may have meant to your development along the way.
Yeah, Greg Gilbert came in there, and I ended up being named captain, and we might have had some trades and things like that. But that group, first year coming in, my first year, it was a good year, and the second year was even better. With you see young guys coming in and being able to compete. And me, it was only my second year, but being looked at as a veteran and having those veteran experienced guys with Trocheck and Ross and Shella, and it was a good mixture of guys, and it was a lot of fun year to end my OHL career. We didn't go as far as we could have, but we had a lot of fight nuts, and it was a lot of fun to be a part of.
Brandon, ironically enough, you had a bird's eye view of when the Kings raised their Stanley Cup banner back a few months ago at the Staples Center. Does that add to, I guess, the intrigue a little bit of this series? And I'm sure that's a memory that you'd like to erase.
Yeah, definitely. It's something, being a fan of the game, you're always watching. Being able to see them win and playing back-to-back, or winning back-to-back, and it's never easy, but they're a phenomenal team. And taking a Stanley Cup chance, it's going to be a challenge we're all looking forward to embrace here. So we know they're a good team, capable, but at the same time, we're looking to end that run.
Just wondering, obviously with the compressed season, with the abbreviation because of the early lockout, and now you're intensified into the playoffs, Brandon, has it been nothing but eat, sleep, and drink hockey? Have you had any time for yourself and for family members, or how's that go?
It's been a really busy time of the year, but at the same time, it's we had the day off today, and we like to get our rest. So when the coaching's smart about that and giving us time to rest, and I've had family in town actually pretty much throughout the whole playoffs, so they're enjoying it just as much as I am. And to be able to be around here and see the games and be around me, it's been a lot of fun to be a part of.